The air quality in your home can have a profound effect on you and your family. So how do you make sure the air inside your home is safe and healthy? Let's find out. The quality of the air we breathe is extremely important to our overall health. You shouldn't have to go outside just to get a little fresh air. And there's plenty of things you can do to improve the air quality inside your home. I'm Carrie with EPB. Let's talk about improving indoor air quality with our leading environmental expert on the EPB Energy Pros team, Elizabeth Hammett. Thanks for joining us, Elizabeth.
Thanks so much for having me.
Elizabeth, why is indoor air quality so important?
You know, a lot of folks don't know that every person breathes in around 2,000 gallons of air every single day.
Wow.
That is like a swimming pool of air. And to top that off, we each spend over 90% of our time indoors. So the quality of our air inside, it's incredibly important to our health.
Now, I know something that everyone should do is to change their HVAC filters regularly. Why is that important?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the air circulating in our homes can often carry mold spores, mildew, bacteria, dust particles, all stuff that can have a detrimental effect on our health over time.
Right.
Can cause asthma attacks, irritation in our airway, even cardiovascular health can be affected. So changing that air filter on a regular basis is really important and can also extend the life of your unit, and that will save you money in the long run as well as improving your health.
Now, is there anything else we can do to help with the air quality in our home?
Air purifiers are a wonderful way to improve your air quality. You can purchase a whole home air purifier. Those tend to be a little more expensive, usually over $1,000. But a portable air purifier is also a great option. You'll just want to make sure it's right sized to your square feet.
Okay.
And no matter what option you choose, you'll definitely want to make sure that it has a charcoal filter, also known as a carbon filter.
Now, one thing I know I do at my home is I wash our sheets, our blankets, our comforters, cushion covers regularly. That's important too, right?
Yes, dust mites love that stuff. So the hotter the water, the better. Also, vacuuming on a regular basis is really pretty important. And you'll want to make sure that your vacuum cleaner has a HEPA filter. HEPA filters are the only ones proven to get up the dust at a certain level. And even a robotic vacuum cleaner that you just program to run once a day, they do a great job and they can keep your rugs clean, looking good.
That is a lot of important information. Now, let's talk about household cleaners. Many of the labels I read, I can't even pronounce the ingredients. So how do I know if they're safe for my home?
So often that clean smell can actually mean that you've got VOCs in the air. Those are volatile organic compounds, and those can irritate your eyes, nose, your airways, and over time just contribute to a whole host of health effects. So there are better alternatives out there that are, safe and will also keep your home healthy and clean and free of germs. So a great resource to check your cleaner is ewg.org. That's the environmental working group, and they independently test hundreds of products, and they'll grade them on a scale of 1 to 10, and you're looking for that 1 or 2 for your home. Or you could just use vinegar. And that's a great option for cleaning your home as well.
Really helpful information. So now that we've covered cleaners, let's talk about bug killers, because truth be told, I keep my house really clean, but I still see the occasional spider or ant that makes its way into my kitchen. So how can I prevent pests but not damage the air quality in my home?
We've all been there. Bugs happen. Even if you're doing all the preventative things like it sounds like you are. Cleaning regularly, keeping those food containers sealed, keeping your home clear of clutter. Unfortunately, a lot of conventional chemicals on the market for pest management are harmful to your health over time, especially if you're the one spraying. There are alternatives that are safer for your family. You can find boric acid in most big box stores, concentrated forms of rosemary, thyme, and cedarwood. Those are also really good options, but you'll want to make sure they stay out of reach of children. Now, if you rely on a pest management company to service your home, you can always ask them if they have eco-friendly options. And if you'd like to do a little more research, ask them for their chemical list. And most times they're happy to give it to you. And a few Google searches later, you can have peace of mind.
Okay. All right. So now let's move on to moisture in the home. I hear too much or too little humidity in the home can be harmful. Why is that?
Too much humidity, well, that can do things like breed mold and mildew in your home, and bacteria loves that. So too much is not good for your health. too little, you're going to have problems like irritation in your nasal passages and perhaps even your skin. So you really want to find that nice middle ground. I like to use a hygrometer, also called a humidity station. And you can find one of those at any home improvement store for around $10.
Okay.
And you'll want to make sure that's staying in between that 30 and 60% range.
Now, there's also an easy and free way you can check humidity. Tell us about that.
Oh yes, it's so cool and fun to do with kids. So what you do is you take 2 or 3 cubes of ice and place it in a clear glass cup. And then look to see after about 4 minutes if there's any condensation on the outside. If there's lots of condensation, you may have a humidity issue. If there's not much at all, maybe on the opposite side with too little humidity. Really fun to do with kids.
Yes, mine would love that. All right, say I discover that the humidity in my home is too high. What do I do then?
Well, if you find that it's too high, I recommend going into your basement or crawl space first and checking to make sure that you don't have any mold or mildew down there. I also recommend getting a dehumidifier. You'll just want to make sure that you're right sizing it for the square feet of the room you want to service. And they'll run about $150 depending on the size.
Okay.
And you'll also want to check to see if it shuts off automatically when the water tray is full.
Okay.
Just makes life easier.
Okay, so I guess it goes without saying that we should replace insulation, sheetrock, other building materials if they get water damaged, right?
Yes, please replace anything that's been water damaged as quickly as you can. You don't want that mildew and mold growing and releasing spores into your home.
Speaking of home improvement projects, do you have any tips for keeping the air quality in your home safe when you're remodeling a house?
Yes, absolutely. And that's such an opportunity to improve the air quality. So the first thing you want to make sure of is that your ducts are shut. So if you're doing any major work, you want to make sure that no debris is getting into your ductwork system, because that could give you problem for years with just particulate matter floating around your house. You also want to make sure that all the materials that you're using, paints, sealants, insulation, that those all have that no or low VOC label. You could also look for Green Guard certification, and you can find Green Guard for things like new furniture. So those labels will ensure that you're getting products that don't harm your indoor air quality.
Okay. So what's the simplest thing you can do to improve air quality in your home?
The simplest thing you can do is just take off your shoes when you come inside. You know, your shoes track in all sorts of debris from everywhere you've been. By taking them off, you just avoid bringing all of that stuff into your house. And you'll keep your floors cleaner too.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. That was a lot of great information. And here's one more way you can improve the air quality and safety in your home. If you're anything like me, you love a good cozy evening in front of the fireplace. But there are some things to keep in mind when enjoying a fire. Be sure to open the flue so smoke goes up the chimney instead of into your home. And be sure to extinguish the fire completely when you're done to keep carbon monoxide from entering the room. Carbon monoxide is colorless, odorless, and highly dangerous. You should install smoke detectors in all of the main living spaces and install special carbon monoxide detectors and radon detectors too. They can find other harmful toxins in the air besides just smoke. Keep in mind our EPB Energy Pros can give you more advice for maintaining fresher air indoors. In fact, they can offer helpful advice on anything energy related. All you have to do is give us a call. Be sure to watch our other videos in this series on all sorts of energy related topics. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.